Welcome to our lesson about the Select tool. It's located in the Quick Access toolbar. Let's click on it to see the full list of select options, and let's select all occurrences. Let me select Mount to in the graphic area. As you see, I've got 3 instances of Mount to. They're all selected in the tree as well. To deselect everything, just click an empty space in the graphic area. Now let's take a look at Select Constrain to. Let's select Mount 1. As you see, the base and the second instance of Mount 2 are selected, since both are constrained to Mount 1. Again, to deselect everything, just click an empty space in the graphic area. Let's take a look at the next Select option, Select Component Size. This option lets us specify the size by which our selection will occur. Let's enter 3 inches in the size input field. And as you see, all of the mounts are selected since the biggest dimension in the mount is less than 3 inches. Now let's try the At Least option. This, of course, will narrow our selection results. Now only the base is selected. That's the only component with at least a 3-inch dimension. Let's change the dimension value to 1.75 inches. Now we've only got Mount 4 selected, since this is the part where the biggest dimension is less than 1.75. Let's take a look at another Select option. Let's click on the Select tool and scroll down to Select Component Offset. Let's make the offset distance 1/2 inch. And let's select Mount 1. The second instance of Mount 1 becomes selected since this instance lies within the selection area of a 0.5-inch offset. We can check to include partially contained as well. And now the base becomes selected as well. Let's increase the offset distance to 2 inches. Let's uncheck partially contained. Now we have all instances of Mount 2 selected since they lie within that 2-inch selection area. Let's cancel out of the Select by Offset tool. And let's try Select by Sphere Offset. This works the same way but just changes the shape of the offset. The selection area is based on the sphere, whose size we define. We establish the radius in the input field. And let's cancel out of this tool. The next option, Select by Plane. First thing to do is select a plane. Here we go. Now we have the option to include partially contained objects. We can reverse the direction by clicking here, or we can select a different plane as well. Let's cancel out of this tool, and back to the Select options. Let's try Select External Components. This tool is based on a percentage of visibility, as you see when I move the slider. Components become visible based on their visibility in the current view. As I adjust the slider, components are selected and unselected. Let's cancel out and return to the list of Select options. Select Internal Components. My assembly doesn't contain any, so we're going to skip this option. Let's take a look at Select All in Camera. This works similarly to the Select External Components, where the slider adjusts selection based on the percentage of visibility in your current view. Let's cancel out of this tool and change the current view. And let's return to Select All in Camera. Adjust the slider to 100%. As you see, the third instance of Mount 3 is totally hidden, and hence it is not selected. Let's return to a home view. And now let's select by component. Let's left-click on this mount to select it. Now right-click and select Isolate. This is how the Select by Component tool works. Only components that I selected are visible. Let's undo that isolation. Let's go back to the Select drop-down menu now and select Invert Selection. Now the components that we haven't selected become selected. Select it again to cancel out. And let's try Previous Selection. Now everything that we'd selected previously becomes selected. Let's click in the graphic area to unselect everything. We can also try Select by Part Priority. Now I'm able to select parts in the graphic area, but I'm not able to select faces or edges. Let's select by faces and edges. And now I'm able to select faces and edges. We can select by sketch features as well. Let's select this hole, for example. As you can see, getting familiar with the Select sub-options will improve your flexibility and speed considerably. And this concludes our lesson about the Select tool.